What is up, guys? It's Midwest Raider Review Game Update coming at you with the one take, guys. I'm going to talk about the Raiders, just tell you what's on my mind and what I'm thinking, and talk about the Las Vegas Raiders and the Oakland Raiders today because I want to give you a little history and tell you why I think we're on track with John Gruden coming up for these next year. I think we're getting to where we're going to start winning, start seeing some of the fruits of his labor and those types of things, and I'm going to tell you why right now, guys. But please, real quick, please like, subscribe, and share, guys. Preseason games are coming. If I watch a game, I'm going to bring you guys an overview on the game, talk about Raiders. Raider Nation, guys, please like, subscribe, and help me grow this channel, guys. I really want to be part of the Raider Nation and just bring you guys some good videos and content and talk about the Las Vegas Raiders because it's been a passion for me all my life. So let's talk about it, guys. 1998, John Gruden comes to the Oakland Raiders, and he has an 8-8 season. Now, we had Jeff George. He's kind of figuring him out, picking who he wants, but he really didn't clean house on the team like he did in 2018 when he came to the Raiders. He completely cleaned house. He didn't do that in 1998. He still had some players he liked and that type of thing, but he completely almost cleaned house in 2018 when we went 4-12 and he completely rebuilded this team. All right, so 1999, guys, year two, we went 8-8. So 2 8-8 seasons there. We went 7-9 in 2019, and you can see that they're kind of similar records. You know, he was still rebuilding, seeing what he wanted, and getting players, that type of thing. So we're on the upswing, okay? 2000, we went 12-4, so we had that really good season. Had the whole tuck rule incident. A lot of crazy things went on that season, but we did go positive. That was year 3, guys. So I think that would be the same we could have had, because we did go 6-4 right at the beginning of the season, guys. We were doing really good. We had no depth last year, guys. Honestly, no excuses aside, we had no depth. The defense had no depth. Once we lost a player, who was backing him up? Nobody that we could really want to talk about. So we didn't have the depth we needed. We didn't have the packages we needed. The defense looked lost most of the time. We just didn't have depth to fill in. We were almost playing Iron Man football. If a player went down, we were hoping somebody could pick it up, but we really didn't have anybody with, significant skills in the second and third positions, guys. We just didn't. We didn't have depth. We wanted the best players to play the whole game, and it really showed because at the end of games, our defense could not stop teams because they were gassed, dying, whatever. They couldn't finish. They broke every time, and we lost a lot of the ending season of the games. So not very good, okay? Offensively, let's talk about offensively. John Gruden always has a style. He wants that, passer quarterback, but he wants to run the ball, and he wants a fullback. Think about it. Back in the old days, John Ritchie, that's who he had. That's who he wanted to run as a fullback. We had that dynamic duo with 2 crazy running backs. We had Tyrone Wheatley and Napoleon Kaufman. You guys remember those days? That was sweet. We also had Zach Crockett. Remember him scoring touchdowns? Yeah, I do. That was the kind of style of offense he ran, but we still had the wide receivers. Think about names like Tim Brown, James Jett, Jerry Porter, Andre Rison, later maybe some Jerry Rice, throw him in there. We had really good receiving cores, and we still do these days. Not quite what we had then, but we still had that dynamic duo of offensive players, which we still do. Now, what's he building today? Now we have Alex Ingold. Now we have Josh Jacobs. Now we're going to have Kenyon Drake. Dynamic duos, guys. Later we'd have Charlie Gardner and Terry Kirby. He wants that 1-2 punch. He wants to have dynamic players on the field at all times. So very cool. I think this is the year that you're going to see the fruits of his labor coming on, because last year is kind of I'll give him a wash on last year just because of COVID. We did get kind of screwed on some of those games where they gave other teams time, but they didn't give us time. We lost a lot of our defensive players to injury and stuff, and like I said, the defense was just gassed. The offense did the best they could, but they just could not keep up without even an okay defense to try to help them at times. So, all right, guys. So you can see that record-wise, so we went 4-12, 7-9, 8-8 in 2020, and now begins the winning season, okay, guys? And if it doesn't, they're really going to start killing the Raiders. They're going to talk about Gruden, they're going to talk about coaching, they're going to talk about players. And even the players, you can hear them a little bit frustrated right now in training camp saying, hey, I'm tired of hearing this, I'm tired of hearing that. We need to get going. We need to do what we came here to do, and that's to win and, make some playoff appearances at least. So I think, guys, from a team perspective, this is a make or break year, guys. There's going to be crazy things happening at the end of this year if we have a losing record, and trust me on that. You're going to see some crazy things happening. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully we have a winning season and we're able to, even make a playoff appearance, and a win or two would absolutely change the view on the Las Vegas Raiders. And I think that would definitely change what people think about the Raiders, because we need to make that, that spot. We need to make or break, show them that we can do it. Now, this year for sure, we definitely solidified the defense a little bit. I'm not saying they're going to be top 10 or anything, but they're going to be better than last year. And if it's not, just like John Gruden said, he's going to be disappointed. And like I said, that's going to lead to some crazy changes if we do not have a winning season this year, or at least a playoff win. Okay, guys? So players like Max Crosby and Malcolm Coons and Divine Diablo, Trayvon, Casey Hayward, all these guys are definitely solidifying depth in our defense. Right now we have 9 cornerbacks on our roster right now, and we have 12 wide receivers, guys. We're really stacked in depth. Now, all those people aren't going to make the team, but we're definitely going to have the pick of the litter when we're talking about who they choose, okay? So in my opinion, the top receivers right now are going to be John Brown, Zay Jones, Hunter Renfrow, Ruggs, and Snead. Possible people to make it in there with Doss, Edwards, and Aitman, so which are favorites of Derek Carr because he likes playing with them. So we definitely put a lot of depth in our defense. Our offense was still good. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about with the offensive line is depth. We got rid of really good players due to the cost of them. We saved a little money, picked up some other players that are good, but if they get hurt, who's the depth that we have for offensive line and tackle and those things? We don't have a lot of depth in our offensive line, which is a little bit scary. So that's the only Achilles heel that I really kind of fear of, is if these players start going down on the offensive line, where's the depth there to pick up the slack? So I'm a little worried about that. Defensively and offensively, I think we have enough depth, except for in the offensive line. I'm a little worried. Other than that, guys, things I've been hearing out there about, Cleveland Farrell and, Arnett and Abrams all being kind of busts and stuff. You really haven't seen a whole season from any of those guys. This is the problem. And if you continue to have injury and stuff, then yes, I guess they're going to be a bust. But if those guys can stay on the field and have, hopefully they're stronger, tougher, and all that kind of stuff, and healthy, if you can see some of these guys play a whole season, I think that's going to change a lot of people's minds. Because Abram is a stud if he can stay on the field. So is Arnett. Arnett does have some skills that I do like, but once again, injury-prone, concussion-prone, the type of thing. Farrell is down in the trenches, guys, every play. He is a very, very hard worker. He might not get all the credit he deserves because those sacks and those giant things that happen in a game, he's not getting them, but he's creating things that are having other players get those. He's blocking people into other people, tearing people off other people so that they can get that kind of stuff. He's always involved with tackles, pushing the line, doing that type of thing, that I don't think he gets enough credit for just being a very, very solid player. Now, the NFL doesn't want solid players. They want game breakers and stuff like that. Well, he hasn't shown that yet, but he definitely has the potential once we start adding more depth to there so people can take their turns making good plays. So, all right, guys. I think we talked about a lot today, guys. I just want to say I think we're on the right path. I think we're still on the right path for success with Jon Gruden. Like I said, look at the past. You know, it took him 3 years. Now, yes, it's been 3 years now. I'm gonna give him one wash with the last season with COVID and everything that happened. A lot of, you know, issues with depth and players and not having them. I'm going to give him the wash. This year, I really can't give him any excuses, guys. No excuses for this year because he has his quarterback with Derek Carr that he wants. He has his dynamic duo with 2 good running backs. He has his fullback. He has a decent offensive line. Now, if they start going down, that could be an issue. But other than that, guys, he's got a solid offense, guys. He's building a decent defense. Hopefully they are an improvement from last year, and this is when we should start seeing some wins. So hopefully this happens, guys. It would coincide with the past, guys. This is kind of what happened in the past, kind of the way it worked. Hopefully we'll see that, guys. So give me your thoughts, guys, on some of that past information, guys. Do you think it kind of coincides, makes some sense, guys? Or do you think it's just different times and maybe this Jon Gruden defense is not going to work? You guys let me know, guys. I think it's just food for thought and some ways to think about it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Midwest Raider game update. If I watch the game, I'm going to put a video, guys, and so I will be making videos this year. Please tune into my channel. We can talk some Raiders. And thank you guys so much. I'm out.